All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. Welcome back to Blame Your Brother, episode 176. We are back once again Thursday night, streaming the show for you and the entire internet community. So come hang out with us. BlameYourBrother.tv, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Come do it. There are three of us that make up Blame Your Brother. I am 1/3 of that trio. I am David, a.k.a. D. Brew, voice of the people, Mr. 40%, Glenn Jackson, the spiritual midget, Nick Nickum, and I am joined by this gentleman who sits to the left. It's my brother. It's Lee.
What up, everyone? It's the real Nick Nickum, and of course, the one and only LeBron Safety Pin.
And then we have this other dude that sits over here to the right of me. It's John.
John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Dialer Turden. And Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
All right, there you go. That's three of us. David, Lee, John will be coming at you for the next hour or so with all kinds of fun information. But hey, we start the show the same way every week. Who's to blame?
Tell me who's to blame. Yeah, tell me who's to blame. Yeah, tell me who's to blame. Won't tell me who's to blame.
All right, time for Who's to Blame, the apologies, retraction, and mission segment where we make things right that were wrong on last week's episode. We talked about Stripper Bowl. So, Lee, do you have anything to apologize for from last week? Anything? Nothing. Clean.
As a whistle.
Clean as a Shakira halftime act.
That's right.
All right, good to know. John, anything stand out for you?
Not that I can remember.
All right, clean episode, boys. We did it.
If you're going to watch one, that's the one to watch.
That's the one, 175. All right, well, let's get things going. Me and Lee had a fun weekend. We went and saw Jen Starsinic and Becky Warren and a whole bunch of other people and bands. We went out to the 5 spot on Saturday night to witness the album release party for Jen Starsinic, her album Bad Actor. She performed, and I got to say, it was an amazing show. Great performances. Lee, what stands out for you about the show?
I woke up with picture in a frame stuck in my head. That's always a good sign. Yes. For sure.
Lead single off the album. Beautiful song. Becky Warren opened up the night, and she was great as usual. I mean, the energy she has on stage is it's religious. I said, you go to one of her shows, and her voice, the musicians, the vibe, the music, everything just hits right. I'm like, I'm ready to run through a wall after that set. You know, I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. I'm like, this is what music's supposed to be about. And there was a good crowd there. I mean, it was packed. I mean, there were people dancing, people having a good time. It was great. Then you had a comedian come out. I believe her name was MK. Comedian was funny. You know, she had some good bits in there. I liked her. And then after that, I believe some acoustic guy got up there. I don't know his name.
I think his name is Matt.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I was getting us drinks at that point, and
he was good.
I got to say, you know, it was tough to get drinks there. It was anyway.
A packed bar.
It was packed. Sure. It was packed. But anyway, then Jen came on, absolutely killed it, entered another zone listening to that set. It was fantastic. Foreign Thing is the last track on the album, and I thought it was one of the greatest performances I've seen. Like, and we were real close to the stage, and she was rocking. The band was killing it. Everybody was in sync with each other. The steel pedal, whoo, man.
Oh, that steel player was excellent.
He was killing it, bro. I was like, this guy was, I mean, Lee used to live in Murfreesboro with these a collection of artists and musicians who were all very talented, and the one guy's name was Pat, who played steel pedal, electric, and his playing was phenomenal as well. This guy was like on that level. Steel pedal is, it's soul of music. When it's in a song, it should be in every song, you almost say, because I know.
I mean, maybe, but it's kind of a more laid back sound.
Yes, more like like the Stones when they go like kind of lay back a little bit.
Right.
You get that
Wild Horses.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's not really a driving.
No.
You can't really do a driving melody on a pedal steel,
Right.
or maybe someone can out there. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
he probably could.
Probably.
So. And then after that, we had a couple more bands. We had My Politic,
Yep.
which was really good. And then we had the closing band, whose name I can't think of, but I've added them on Instagram. Check their stuff out. They're really good. Just a great night. I had a great time. It was a blast. So, if you haven't listened to the Jen Starsinic interview, go back and check that out. It's episode 173, I think. She had some studio performances that sounded great. Lead really stepped it up. I heard another podcast where she did a performance on. I thought ours was better. Like, I know I'm saying that because like I'm on this show, but like even being a neutral party, the performances here were like great. So
Yeah,
anyway.
well, we're going through a few upgrades for the new year, so maybe we'll see them start rolling out. But what I really want to know is East Nashville is a special place.
Oh man,
it's got what is the nickname of it? East Nasty. Is that a thing?
Nasty, yeah.
But so it's a very progressive, liberal kind of part of Nashville, kind of the first area to be gentrified, if you will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you ended up having a little conversation. That's what I want to know about. I was kind of not around for that. I was kind of conversing with the musicians and whatnot. And I turned around. You were nowhere to be seen. I go looking for you, and then all of a sudden you're hanging out with some Bernie bros.
I'm hanging out with the Bernie bros. So we're at this point, me and Lee, we're feeling good. Let's just say that we've had some cocktails. We're feeling good. The night's good, and we want like a cigarette. It happens. I want a cigarette. Okay, when I drink, I like to have a cigarette. Whatever. So we're trying to bum one. Can't find any. So Lee's gonna go round up some for me. So I look over, and these dudes, East Nashville dudes, like 100% are at this table.
What makes someone an East Nashville dude? 100%,
man,
based on looks alone.
Yes, looks alone.
Okay, just set the situation.
I
here.
mean, they got the denim jackets, they got the flannel shirts, they got the little trucker hats, they've got the mustaches. It's like East Nashville. They say they're making a TV show called East Nasty. This is true. It's going to be like a scripted show like Nashville. If I was casting East Nasty, I would have grabbed those guys for sure. Like, those guys are in the show. So I hear them over there just talking about Bernie with this passion. And I'm sitting there. And Lee knows, sometimes when I go out, sometimes I'm kind of quiet. This night I wasn't. I was like, I'm talking to everybody. I don't care. So I just go over there and I go, Bernie. I go,
that's your opener, Bernie.
I just sit down. I go, you guys didn't get it right last time. How are you going to get it right this time? I got them fired up like, yeah, you're right, man. The establishment tearing it down. And we start talking about Bernie and what are the chances and Trump. And we're talking for like 10, 15 minutes.
All politics
They're asking
on the back porch.
They're like, come canvass with us, man. Come on. We're going to go knock on doors. I'm like, I'm good, man. But, but we talked.
That's where I draw the line.
We talked about politics for a while. And then we started talking about music. And then Lee came over there. We're talking about they're in a band. Lee's rapping about music. I actually enjoyed the Bernie dude. I thought they were cool dudes, man. They all
cool
seemed
dudes,
nice
for
guys.
sure.
We talked to them for a while. So I was there that night.
I've never had a bad time at the 5 spot. Maybe one time, the first time we ever went there.
Well,
we got kicked out. But anyway.
Hey,
Other
things
than
happen.
that, it's
But
been pretty cool ever since.
Yeah, that night it was a fantastic night. So big props to
But
her.
before you go, I will say one of the highlights of my night was just going around to random places and just seeing a Blame Your Brother sticker.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
would just be like using the bathroom and look down and
There's a sticker.
I looked over at one point and David's got this baggie. And he goes, I'm your pusher man. I got them stickers.
So I was putting stickers everywhere in the 5
I'm
spot.
gonna light this place up.
That's exactly what he said, actually.
I did. I was handing them out to people. I go, here, man, check out the podcast. So if you hit the 5 spot, look for those Blame Your Brother
I'm
stickers.
not done with this
Oh,
story.
go ahead.
I've got to go on.
All right.
You were definitely on one.
I was feeling it,
During
man.
the show, you look over at me and you're like, hey, man. I'm just, I'm trying to listen to the show, have a good time. Hey, man, I got to know something right now. And I'm like, okay, what's so important? He's like, hey, that guitar player, it looks just like me. It looks just like, you said it was a cross between two people.
Me and someone else. I can't remember who now. But at the time, me looking at this guitar player, I was like, that's me. I'm on stage right now. Like, I'm that dude, man.
This is what he told me. And then he said the drummer looked like Charlie, a cross between Charlie and somebody.
And the dude from The Office.
Yeah,
Who's the dude that
he's like,
dated?
dude, the drummer looks like Charlie and the guy from
Ryan.
The Office.
Ryan dated Mindy Kaling, right?
Yeah.
He looked like Charles McMacken meets Ryan from The Office, big guy though, like bulked up.
BJ Novak.
Yes, BJ Novak, Charlie McMacken combined together. I was the guitar player, and Lee was.
I wasn't on the stage.
And Lee's like, man, I'm just trying to chill to me. I didn't know, man. I got to tell you these
listen
things.
to the music, and this guy's over here trying to talk to me.
And I'm laughing like because I think it's funny. I'm like, come on, man. And Lee's just like, I'm in the music, man. I'm like, come on, feel the magic of the night. So
let's try.
I had a good time. It was great.
I will say something about Charlie. He does have a very representable face. I see his face in a lot of people.
I can see
like,
that.
oh, let's try him. And
Yeah.
they turn around. I'm like, oh, it's not him.
I can see that. So anyway, good night.
Anyway.
Go get Jen Starsinic's album. It's on Spotify right now. You can pre-order it at jenstarsinic.com. You get you get CD if you want to get that, or the MP3s, and she's sending out like signed, personalized things. So if you got $10, $5, go there, get it. It's a great album. It's one of the. I know that year just started, but it will be one of the best albums of 2020, 100%. So thank you so much for letting us be part of that night. So
I got one more East Nashville question.
Here we go.
So I was surprised on Twitter. I saw that Jen Starsinic's friend from Michigan had their car stolen.
Yeah,
at the venue.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were at a show and your car was stolen?
We got carjacked.
He got
just wasn't stolen. He got carjacked. Yeah.
What?
So I was talking with her on Twitter, and I was telling about the Bernie Bros story. And
That's crazy.
And she was like, "That's crazy. I wanted to come over there and join in, but she was busy." And I was like, "Hey, you should have. It was fun." And she goes, "Yeah, my friend just got carjacked outside, like before the show started." So what would I do? I'd probably.
What would you do if you got?
I'd probably make the report and head out to the venue. You're already there. What have you got to lose at that point?
What are they going to pull? They pull a gun on you? You think?
I didn't get into details, but
I didn't think that area was that shady.
Oh, it's hot in certain areas out there. You got to be careful.
Outside the 5 spot though.
Anywhere it goes. Those people a while back, a couple of teenagers killed a singer-songwriter around that area.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you got to be careful. Seriously. That's why, me and Lee took a lift. If you can take a lift, just take one. You don't want to be walking back, inebriated, intoxicated, trying to get back to your car. Bad things can happen. I'm just saying. So just be careful if you're out there. So, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was it. So, it's February. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Today is Galentine's Day, if you know what that is. Did this holiday start because of Parks and Rec or what? Or did they just make it popular? Do you watch Parks and Rec, John?
I haven't for a while.
Okay, I've seen it. I've seen Amy Poehler gifs on the internet of her going Galentine's. My wife right now is out with her girlfriends doing Galentine's Day. But anyway,
do you want to explain what it is for the viewers at home that might not know?
It's just when girls get together, like friends. It's like the day before Valentine's, girls get together and hang out and celebrate girl power, girl friendship. And I just said, what a crock. They've already cornered the market of Valentine's Day. Okay, this is a female holiday. If you ever met a dude that's just like, man, I've got the calendar circled. Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm ready to party. John, you ever met one dude?
No.
Lee, you met one dude that's down for the Valentine's Day experience? No, you haven't.
I met maybe a one or two in my life.
I
met romantic people.
I met a unicorn as well. What's your point? Come on, man.
When love is young, people tend to go an extra mile. Look forward to a romantic holiday.
Oh, lame, man. So what do y'all?
Yeah, but it's not a year after year thing for those guys. It might be like a new relationship thing that they're trying to prove their worth or something. That's
right.
But a year in, year out, Valentine, waiting for that day.
Yeah.
No.
It's a fake holiday. Just call it what it is. It was
Valentine's or Galentine's?
Both. It was invented by the card companies to make money after Christmas. That's what it is. Just call it what it is. What do you think? We should remove Valentine's Day. We should go, we're done. There's more men than women, right? Last time I checked, according to the population standards. We should go, you know what? We're done with this holiday, but we will take a holiday in February. We'll take the day after the Super Bowl as our new holiday. Everyone gets off work that day. They're off on the Monday. Tell me most people would take that trade. Would you take that trade, John? Valentine's done, Super Bowl Monday.
I mean, it's like a win-win situation.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone
this
wins.
Is not, look, nobody gets off for Valentine's Day.
That's why it's a win-win.
That's why it's a win-win. This would be an official holiday where Trump's in office. If it's ever going to happen, now's the time. You know what I'm saying? Now is the time. We're going to strike while the iron's hot, because if Bernie gets in, we're not getting Super Bowl Monday, okay? We're not getting it. The Super Bowl might be done. Who knows?
What are you talking about? Bernie Sanders has nothing to do
Bernie
with Super Bowl.
Bros told me things I can't talk about on this program, okay?
So now you're in the inner pact, I see.
So the real question is, do you have big plans, as we're all married with kids, do you have big plans for Valentine's Day? John, do you have big plans?
We're actually going to go out the day after.
Okay.
My sister's going to come over and watch the kids, and
there you go.
Just going to go out on a nice, quiet evening.
Kids free. Nice, not bad. Yeah. All right, Lee, what about you?
I think we're going to do a candlelit dinner with our daughter first. She loves candlelight dinners, so maybe we'll do something like that.
There you go.
You know, it's a big day for her at school. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much like her first Valentine's, handing out the Valentines to other kids. And there's many roads you can take on that, right? You can go down to Walmart and you can buy the little box of stuff and just whatever, right? My wife couldn't do that. She had to go get Minnie Mouse headbands and then go on the internet and print out personalized Valentines that have to be paper cut and then ribboned on to the headbands. And, you know,
I ain't got time for that.
So my wife, when the boys were smaller and they had Valentines, they would suggest that the kids make a box to put your Valentine stuff in, decorate it. So like the first year it was all, you know, she made like a WWE ring and you could put the cards in the middle and it was cool. It looked cool, you know. And then next year she did something, and then after that she said, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. If you want the box, go get it yourself. But here's what's crazy at school now. So my son, who's in the 4th grade, they are not giving the names out of kids anymore. So you fill out the card with your name on it, and it's blank, and you just give it to the kids because of privacy concerns. Is this wild or what? Am I crazy for thinking this is a little bit?
there's got to be a reason they're doing this, right?
I don't know. And at my work now, there are 2 doors to get into the building. There's a door on the 1st floor, and there's a door on the 2nd floor. They have cut off. I'm on the 4th floor. So for me, it's easier to go up to the 2nd floor to get up to the 4th floor. They've cut off all access to the 2nd floor. You can't come in or out of the door anymore. They're going to be putting metal detectors in our building, which is a public government building. What is going on here? We're overreacting to everything. We can't give out the first name of children in a class to put on the cards. It's just weird. I don't know.
What does not being allowed into the 2nd floor of a building have anything to do with what we were talking about?
It's all this security, privacy, security. That's the thing. There's security issues. We can't give out the names of the children. Like, you can't give me their first name? What do you think I'm going to do? Like, my kid goes to school there. Like, I literally could go on a class field trip, if I am even allowed to anymore, and I don't know.
You could probably ask your kid, what are the names of the kids in your class?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's weird. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing the same thing with you. We're just having some dinner. We're going to sit around, enjoy it as a family, and that's good for me. My wife is going to a wedding on Saturday, another of the church of the Covenant or whatever it's called. The
Weight Loss Jesus.
The Weight Loss Jesus. And she's like, do you want to go? And I was like, no, I have no desire. It's like a black tie affair. I'm like, no, that is everything not me. A, wedding. B, black tie. C, religious cult. I'm good, man. I don't need to go. Like, I'm good. So that's what she's doing Saturday.
Not going to be a Bernie brother inside, I'm sure.
No. Oh, no. So anyway, that's our big plans for Valentine's Day. But it's also African American History Month. Now, last year, Lee would give us facts. John. Last year, did Lee give us facts about an African American in history?
It seems familiar.
Okay, I will find this clip and put it up. If you're acting like you didn't do this, so Lee wants me to highlight an important African American in the history.
Okay, let's see what you got.
So I think back to when I was a child, and our father, mine and Lee, were brothers here. Our father used to run numbers, and if you don't know what that is, gambling is illegal in the state of Tennessee. I like Lee's face because he's like, where's this going? So my dad would go around, pick up number. You would pick the numbers that were going to hit, and then you would give them to my dad with the money. My dad would run them out to the
bookie.
The bookie. I want to highlight the bookie. Okay, because the bookie.
What? Wait, what?
Was,
Oh my God! Are you serious?
The bookie in the history of the world, and this can be any name you want. His name can be Bob, Steve, Tyrone, whatever you want to call this man. This is an important man in the history of lower income families in America because we dreamed of hitting those numbers, baby. We dreamed of that big cash thing, man. We did numbers and football cards. These bookies in the hood made it all good, baby.
The notes and opinions of one David Burrington are not represented by the podcast in general.
These guys don't get the respect they deserve, and I am not going to stand for it. You tell me gambling's legal in certain states? Come on, give me a break. It should be legal in all 50 states. These guys are pioneers. They're no different than the guy last week in Columbia or wherever it was in Tennessee lit a joint in the courtroom when he was arrested for marijuana possession and said, man, weed should be legal everywhere. Dude, that guy's a hero. These bookies are hero. That's my African-American history person of the month. Okay. Bookies
you are
everywhere.
No longer allowed to do anything.
I am 1% African-American. This is scientifically proven. I can talk about the struggles of the people that have brought me into this world. I am from Africa. You saw the results. This is true.
We actually didn't see the results. You told us the results.
I showed you the results.
I
it's
didn't
on
see
Twitter.
Them. Did you see them?
I am from Mali, Africa. And if you dare.
I thought you said it was Chad.
No, not Chad.
That's super. Your bit is super disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful. It's scientific. Do you think climate change is real? That's science. DNA test are science. Are you discrediting either?
I'm just saying what you're saying.
Are you discrediting science?
What I'm saying is what you're saying is super disrespectful.
Did you leave? Are you done with the burn and now you're on the Trump train and you're against science? Are you an enemy of science?
What I'm trying to say is that what your bit is super disrespectful to Black History Month.
No, it's the most impactful thing you can ever have. I mean, these are the people.
What David meant to say was, we're representing Charles Drew. Dr. Charles Drew is the first person that he helped create blood transfusions. So thank you, Dr. Charles Drew.
Yeah, he's all right too. But the bookies do more for the common man. So that is your African American history fact of the month. This year, 29 days, we're getting closer to equal rights for African Americans. One day, I have a dream that February will have 31 days to represent the full month. I know it's a bit.
You're gonna have to take.
I know it's a stand-up bit, but why did they get the shortest month? Who did this? What prankster in America decided they were going to get 28 days most of the time? You tell me that's fair? Is that right? Affirmative action needs to clear this up. We take the days from, let's just say, November. I mean, who cares about November? I mean, you got Thanksgiving. That's about it, right? We could take 2 days from November, throw it over to February. That's my new proposal. That's what I'm going for.
How about August? There's nothing going on in August.
August, we could skip the 28th, 29th. Who needs those days? You know, overrated.
I mean, 29th especially.
Yeah, who cares about August 29th? I mean,
day.
Michael Jackson was born on that day. And we know where that story went. I mean, what's worse at this point? Cosby, Michael Jackson. I mean, they're equally bad.
Name one person worth anything that was born on that day.
Nothing.
I mean,
nothing at all. So that's a proposal. I'm going to send that in. I'm going to tweet that out to Trump later. So if you can retweet that at BYB Pod, we would really appreciate it. So, all right. Well, that was that, John. Anything happened to you this week?
No. Just working a lot.
Besides the great show, anything for you?
Not in particular that I can recall.
All right, good. No MJ slander. Hey, man, the man is who we said he was. I mean, are we acting like Michael Jackson was not accused of child rape multiple times? Yes.
Are we acting like he was accused or found guilty?
Well,
because anyone can accuse someone.
I guess you're right.
I could accuse you of child rape right now.
I guess you could. I mean, you could.
Multiple times, in fact.
You could, I guess. I mean, you could, but I think there's substantial when it's like 20 kids coming forward and saying it all happened, even though Macaulay Culkin.
But was he ever found guilty? I mean, I know they put out a
civil-wise, I believe he was.
Well, here's the crazy thing is I feel like if you put out a documentary these days, then that's the burden of guilt. Like anything that someone does wrong, like what's his face, R. Kelly. It's like, did you watch the documentary on him? He's guilty.
Is he guilty?
I mean, he's never been. Well, I guess he did go to jail, didn't he, for that?
Yeah, he's
that P tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I do want to say, I'm glad you mentioned that. But speaking of actual African Americans in history, Malcolm X. There's a new documentary out about Malcolm X, and I guess it chronicles. I've not watched it yet, but it chronicles his life, and it has caused, I believe, the FBI to reopen his murder investigation. I don't know if you know, but he was murdered after a speech. It's alleged that Louis Farrakhan put people up to kill him because he was basically leaving the Nation of Islam after. Basically, he found out Muhammad was not the prophet he said he was. It made him reevaluate Islam as a religion, and he went out. And anyway, the point is he's getting ready to leave, and I think I think they knew, like, if this guy leaves, we're in trouble. I mean, he's a spokesperson, and he was murdered. So because of this documentary, it's funny you speak of that. They're going to reopen it. Now, is anything going to happen? I mean, it's hard to probably investigate a murder that was over 35, 40 years ago, but still. That is the power of documentaries in this day and age. It's funny you mention that. So,
well, I mean, I feel like most of the people who film them, what do we call them, filmographers or whatever?
Yeah, filmmakers, whatever.
Have a agenda going
Oh,
in.
for sure, yeah.
So, I mean, that represents to me the modern state of America, where the truth cannot stand by itself. Everyone has to have an angle on something, and it's kind of dangerous.
No, it's very dangerous. Well, speaking of documentaries, let's talk about Oscar 2020. Did you guys watch any of the Oscars this year? John? No. Lee, did you watch the Oscars?
I was surprised to even hear that they were going on.
Oh, I love the Oscars. It's like one of my favorite things of the year. I love movies.
Well, you'll have to tell us all about it.
So some of the highlights of the Oscars was performed
Lose Yourself.
And the crowd.
Wait. The Oscars is for
film and music from film.
Was Mile 8 back up for an award this year?
No, it was not.
Kind of like a surprise
He
thing.
won one. I think he won it for that song back when it came out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it did win an Oscar.
So he came out and no one was expecting it in the crowd. Like Billie Eilish was like, "What is this song?"
What was she doing there? I thought she was
I don't
musician.
know. I guess they just invite famous people to go there. But so he did that. The great thing was Joaquin Phoenix won for Best Actor for Joker, and his speech was next level bonkers. If you don't know anything about it,
that's his thing. He does that.
Oh, this was like real. I was watching it going, "What is happening right now?" So he gets up there, and he starts off. I don't know if you know much about Joaquin Phoenix, but he has not always been the best guy to work with. Is what this saying is. So he starts the speech saying, we need to have compassion for each other, and we need to stop canceling each other. If somebody did something wrong, we need empathy and talk. And I was like, "Oh, this is good, man. Yeah, I like this. You need to talk to people and tell them what they're doing wrong, kind of help them fix it." And then it went left, and then he starts talking about sentient beings. We need to be better to sentient beings. I went, "What?" And then he goes, "We need the cows of America. We're imprisoning these cows, and we're stealing their milk for our coffee, where we can put creamer in it, and we take their young calves away, and we kill them, and we need to stop this. The cows have rights too." And I went, "Whoa, this is some next level shit right here, man." I was like, so Lee, you're more progressive than we are. Is there credence to the cows?
I mean, you can definitely say that cows have feelings, right? Like if you walk up to a cow and punch it in the nose, it's going to act hurt.
Right.
So they feel pain.
Okay.
They're not the smartest of animals, but they're definitely not the dumbest either.
So do you think we're stealing their milk?
Well, we're definitely stealing their milk. That is beyond question, right?
I mean, what's
like
stealing?
No cow really wants to be hooked up to a milk machine and milked, right?
I don't know. I can't communicate with the cow, so I,
mean,
wouldn't know. I would not be able to verify that information.
I mean, there are humane
cows. I've heard that when they don't get milked, when they're used to getting milked that way, if you suddenly stop, it's actually painful for them.
Oh, yes, of course it is. Of course. But I've also heard they take away their calf so that they keep producing milk as well. So, I mean, it's a catch-22 on that front. But
so you're with Joaquin?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people in the world, and we need milk. So there's
Do
probably
we need milk?
there's
though?
probably a balance. Like, you think about how milking a cow got started.
Right.
Like, it was very much small time operation.
Mhm.
The cow was treated with a lot of respect.
Right.
It was a very important animal to the farm. Like, you
Okay.
needed it to survive almost, right?
Oh yeah.
Old Bessie, and now it's like everything is shifted to a more urban complex where we don't know anything about milking a cow. I doubt either
no.
three of us could milk a cow
No.
if we had to.
Hell no.
right?
No way.
So,
I don't think I could.
and not only that, like, once you start looking into how milk is prepared, it gets even more weird because, like, we're not really supposed to drink milk unless it's pasteurized because it can, like, give you a very harmful health effect that could possibly kill you for some people. So
Yeah, no, that's true.
but then you think about, like, you can't have cheese without milk. So who wants to give up cheese except a lactose intolerant?
Are you willing to give all of it up?
I could not give up cheese.
So you're against the cow. Okay, good to know.
But is there cheese alternatives? Have you had cheese
I'm
alternatives?
sure they'll come out with one soon.
yeah,
Have you had, like,
the can.
soy
The can.
milk?
What's that? I can't believe it's not cheese, or what is that? What, cheese
I
whiz?
can't believe it's not butter. I
Cheese
believe.
whiz.
Cheese whiz?
Yeah, that's alternative. That's not really cheese, is it? No, right?
I think Velveeta is a.
But I'm talking about the
it's
can, the
different.
cheap can stuff. That's not cheese, right?
I
The
have
stuff
no
you spray on
idea.
crackers and stuff. There's no way that's
What
real
is it?
cheese.
Is it real
I don't know. That's not real cheese, man. That's like saying grape soda's not grape soda. Yeah, we know it's not grape,
Well, here's the thing. Like, the fact that he took his moment to not talk about himself, right?
We're not, okay, that's one way to look at it, but he didn't.
But he pointed out a social issue that he thought was important.
He didn't thank the director. He didn't thank the actors. He didn't
It
think
doesn't
anybody
matter.
made the movie.
That's who cares?
Would you eat cereal without milk? Like if milk
I've
tomorrow.
done it before.
What? What? What did you?
I've
What?
ate dry cereal before.
No. With something like water, like the Friday. You better put some water in that shit, boy. I mean, would you do that?
Maybe if I had been given it to as a child, that would be okay with it.
No, today. It stops today.
I don't eat a lot of cereal with milk today.
You don't?
Not a lot. No.
John, do you eat cereal?
I love cereal.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine it without milk?
I can, but I don't want to.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, that was Joaquin Phoenix.
Maybe like a Coke and cereal.
Coke and cereal. Gene Simmons of Kiss says he puts ice in his cereal.
Ice
with milk. Yeah.
He likes
And
cold,
I don't know. It
guess.
was a weird thing on the internet. But anyway, so water, 2 thumbs down. Top cereals right now. All right, we'll do that. Top cereals number
right now.
Okay, So John, what is your number one? Number one to me.
I mean, I gotta go basic with Rice Krispies.
Okay.
Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies
You're
is
basic.
good.
I would say Cocoa Krispies before Rice Krispies.
Is that totally you're basic? I had a moment.
I mean, I said it. I'm going basic. But
Here's another great moment at the Jen Starsinic show. I go, can you imagine if you were the first person that ever went, you're basic? You're the first person that ever said it. That must have been a great moment. I think we need a internet show that recreates the first ever memeable moments. Like we recreate like whenever that was said. Because whenever you say you're basic to someone, you're just copying the first person. But can you imagine being the first person, like the first person that, I don't know, man, wrote like a rock song or whatever? Like that's a great moment. Anyways, okay, Rice Krispies, number one for you. So I'm going to go number one. For me, you got to go. It's been mentioned in the chat, Captain Crunch. It is a staple of cereal. It is the GOAT. It's always crunchy. It never gets soggy.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Captain Crunch. When
Captain
cereal
Crunch.
gets soggy, I'm out.
You know the problem with Captain Crunch?
What's that?
Is the deep lacerations in the roof of your mouth
It's worth it.
for the rest of the day, if not the rest of the
No,
week
I
at this
don't-
point.
I don't know how you're
At least
eating it.
with peanut butter Captain Crunch, it doesn't just like leave deep trails of wound
All right.
injury.
Stop attacking mine. What's your choice? What's your number?
I mean, it's changed over the years. Like I said, I don't eat a lot of cereal, but I kind of have had to fall into Honey Nut Cheerios because
Honey Nut Cheerios.
I'm on board with the Honey Nut
You
Cheerios.
guys, come on. Okay, that's so you're going with okay.
Sure.
John, you're number 2. It don't have to be in any order. We'll just do 3 each.
Banana Nut Crunch.
What is Banana Nut Crunch? What the hell is this?
It's got pieces of banana in it, almonds and flakes.
Oh,
It's just good.
You guys are
good.
terrible. All right, number 2. You need some chocolate. You need some chocolate in the morning.
Cocoa Puffs.
No, not Cocoa Puffs. I'm trying to think of what it's called
It's
now.
so good.
It's
I
not
can't even
Fruity
remember.
Pebbles, but it
Cocoa
is
Pebbles?
Cocoa Pebbles, baby. That is the GOAT as well. It stays crispy
Cocoa
enough.
Pebbles are
Cocoa
pretty
Pebbles
good.
is the shit, man. And I'm going to come at anybody that comes after me for that one. So that's my number 2. You.
I will stick with chocolate, and I'll go Cocoa Puffs because Cocoa Puffs were pretty
Cocoa
good.
Puffs is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go something kind of, well, I'd say go something off the cuff, but your 2 have already been
Sorry.
there. So what is your off the cuff
Oh.
one that you, I'll if you want to think about it. So this wouldn't be necessarily my number 3, but every once in a while, I got to go with them honeycombs, man. I think they're so good, honeycomb. It's not something I get all the time, but every once in a while, I'll walk down that cereal and go, I need those honeycombs, man. There's something about it. When I was a kid, I used to eat it all the time. It's got just enough sweetness, but it's still kind of got, not too much if you don't want. I mean, mine are sweet. Captain Crunch, Cocoa Pebbles, or whatever I said. And then Honey Nut or Honeycomb is good. So those are my 3. So you got one, John, to round it out?
Golden Grams.
Ah, hell yeah, dude. Golden Grams is like the honeycomb's cousin, boy. That's good stuff. Oh, I love that, dude. Yeah. Oh, that freaking honey bear. I want to marry that dude. All right.
Ain't good enough for that.
Lee, what's your last one?
I'm going to go with Lucky Charms.
Lucky
just 'cause of the
Charms. Hell yeah,
marshmallows.
bro.
But I will tell you, when we were little, it feels like there was more marshmallows per Lucky Charm than there is today. I feel like the kids are being robbed, basically.
Well, also that now they sell them with only the marshmallows in them.
Only the
Only
marshmallows?
the
I don't feel like
marshmallows.
that's the right answer.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Too extreme. Here's the other problem. When we were growing up, the cereal always had the prize inside.
Hell to the yes.
You would dig, and either you had cool parents that let you just dig in and get the,
And we did.
or you had the lame parents that said you had to wait until it come out.
Who's that?
But I noticed on like today's cereal, it's always like cut out a coupon and mail it in.
If some of them don't even have that, some of them have nothing. Like when me and Lee used to get up in the morning, Lee was very cranky in the morning. Shocker, I know. That's like
I still am.
Morning,
and
afternoon,
and he would put,
evening.
Yes, he would put the cereal box in front of his face, where he didn't have to look at me. And would just read the back of the cereal box.
Could you imagine waking up in the morning, first
To
thing,
that?
and having to deal with
I'm
David?
ready. Ding, 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 ding.
See, that's exactly
Let's
what he
go.
did. And he wants to know why I'm trying to hide.
He was just like, oh, underneath the cereal box. Oh, I'm reading. Like, what are you reading?
I could slap him right now.
What are you
just for the atrocities
But
of
I'm
my
glad
childhood.
you said the toy. The toy, I would pick cereals just for the damn toy.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't even like this whack ass cereal. Like, I'm trying to think, like Raisin Bran. I'm like, dude, it's all right.
Raisin
like,
Bran was all right.
It's all right, but like, man, they had some bomb toys in that thing. I'd be like, I want that. And my mom would be like, you have to eat all this. I'll be like, I'll eat it all.
Done.
I'd never eat it all. But look, the point, look at that nice ass toy in there. And they were good ones, man. Like big toys. This generation, they just don't know. And I know we're sounding like a bunch of old white men. We are. But I mean, point is.
Oh, we had it made in our generation when it came to stuff for kids.
We did. It was great. So
We
anyway.
still had like cartoons during the day.
I know. It's done. Done, man. It's done. So they thought Lee, excellent pick on the Lucky Charms. Raisin Nut Bran is a sleeper. And then Festlove, I tried Sour Patch Kids cereal. Gross. Yeah, you don't say.
Oh my gosh, that just doesn't seem like it goes with milk.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. So anyway, that's some of our top cereals. I'm glad you guys came up with that. All right, so Oscar 2020, Parasite won Best Picture. The director for Parasite won Best Director. First time a foreign film has ever won Best Picture. I watched it this weekend. Great movie. Fantastic. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. Brad Pitt won Best Supporting Actor. Me and John both have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're talking about it before the show. Love it. Great movie. And there was some funny stuff. They made fun of themselves for Cats. James Corden and Rebel Wilson did. They came out in these cat outfits. And if you don't know what Cats is the movie of the Broadway film or Broadway performance of Cats. And it got lambasted by the critics. And it was bad. And so they came out in their cat outfits and like, well, we're here to present best visual effects, and they looked at their outfits and they go, yeah, we definitely know the importance of visual effects in a movie. Yeah, it can really make it or break it. So they were like making fun of their own movie they're in. It was pretty good, and I think it was good. So I didn't know if you guys had watched. Just a few highlights there. Renee Zellweger won Best Actress, and she gave a weird speech as well. She looks really weird. I mean, I'm sure she's had work done, and I mean, I'm sure there's probably, we talked about this last
Just
week.
a far cry from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, I mean, different person, and I understand there is a pressure on these actresses to stay young. I get it. I mean, I'm not knocking anyone for if you feel you got to have plastic surgery, but I just think it's kind of a bad thing where Brad Pitt's probably never going to have plastic surgery. Like, I just don't see that vision, but a lot of these women do.
He probably has.
I don't think so, man. He's aging pretty good.
Well, there's some for men. A lot of them look better when they're older.
Yeah,
that distinguished
true.
look.
Yeah.
Whereas it doesn't seem to be the same for women.
No, unfortunately not. I was listening to another podcast, Girl Beer Sports, and they were saying like Eminem got hot. They think he's like hot now that he's older. So it does. I mean, it works. I mean, it's guys kind of get a little bit better sometimes they get older. So I don't know. All right, well, that was that. Then the XFL debuted this week. You guys surely did not watch the XFL, right?
No.
It was good. It was good.
No, you were looking forward to it.
I
Do
did.
they still have the no fair catch rule?
No, it's totally changed. It's like legit football. I mean, the kickoff's a little bit different. It's safer. They make them line up against each other at the 30-yard line, and they're not allowed to go down until the guy catches the ball and starts running. So they're trying to cut down on concussions. I mean, I think Vince McMahon, who runs XFL, definitely learned his lesson. I think he said the first time it failed. I think he really wants this to be successful, and I do see probably some players from this coming out and getting signed by the NFL. So if you like football, I watched the games. Me and my kids did. I had a good time. I liked them. I mean, are they as good as the NFL?
Is he hate me playing?
No, he hate me.
They need to bring him back for sure.
He played in the NFL.
He did.
Yeah, so
And Canadian.
no more of that stuff. But they do. It's great. They do interview players and coaches during the game. And one guy let off the F-bomb. Like the first interview he had, he's like, "We're going out here to beep and play the game." And they tried to cut the mic off, and it was too late. I was like, "Oh,
So they got popped by the FCC.
oh, for
on
sure."
that.
I mean, yeah, you definitely
That
heard
sounds
it.
a little planned. I don't know.
But then you can hear the coaches' calls, like to hear the play calls before the plays happen. I think it's cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So is this like poised to be kind of like an amateur? Because there's no way
yeah,
that there can be two major football leagues side
Right.
by side, right?
I think it is like kind of like a minor league version of that's what
now,
they're trying
my
to make
understanding
it.
is arena football is officially shut down, right, across
Probably.
America.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
I used to go to the Cats games. I had season tickets, and it was fun for what it was, but I don't know. So anyway, okay, well, that's XFL. We got to get a rip real quick. Lee, do you want to go ahead and give the rip to your boy here?
Who?
Andrew Yang. The Yang Gang has
Did he die?
no, his political career is dead though.
What had
He
happened?
announced he's dropping out. He's no longer running. His big claim to fame, he's running for president. He was going to give everyone $1,000. Everyone $1,000 a month.
So
stipend.
I don't think his political career is over. Just his run for presidency
Okay.
this year, right?
I think
He's probably
I
going
think that RIP stands for rest in politics.
I'm pretty sure he's a lifelong politician. And will
No.
continue to be so.
I don't think he ever was a politician. He's just some rich guy. Do you think, Lee, could any plan work where everyone in America gets, and adults obviously, $1,000 a month stipend?
Not only can it work,
Oh.
it is literally
Here we go.
one of the best solutions.
Oh,
out there.
really?
Yeah.
We have enough money to do this.
Yeah. Of course we do. Look around.
John, do we
So
have-
where do you think all the money is right now? It's in corporate America,
okay,
right?
Okay.
So if we redistribute the wealth back to the workers,
Bernie Bros.
$1,000 a month is trivial.
It's the Bernie Bros.
$1,000 a month is trivial.
Bernie Bro. I mean,
That's not even a basic living wage.
no, it's a stipend.
But
It's
I think the citizens of America do deserve better and deserve to partake of the success of America.
But you think that's
Instead of-
reasonable?
Instead of the 1% taking in all of the profits, I do think that it's time that it's redistributed to the people who work and make it what it is, you know?
Do you think everyone's? I mean, obviously, what percentage of America do you think would be cool with this? I mean, like 50%.
I don't know.
Probably more than that, actually.
Are you cool with it, John?
No, because I know it's going to have negative effects.
Okay.
I mean, if there were no like negative connotations to it, sure. But
what's
I mean,
the negative connotations? You think?
You were going to be taking a lot of money from people who, whether you believe they earned it or not, they earned it.
Well,
It's
Lee
their
said
money.
Lee said no billionaire has ever
morally, you
rightfully-
cannot
morally
morally
earned their
make
money.
you cannot morally have $1 billion as a single person. It's not possible. I don't care what argument that you present to me. It's just not possible.
So here's a great Chris Rock line. So Chris Rock did a little bit of stand up at the Oscars, and he goes, Jeff Bezos, he's in the crowd. Jeff Bezos is so rich, he got divorced, and he's still the richest man in America. It's so
Funny.
good. It was a good one.
It's a good line. It's kind of sad though.
Oh, it's funny.
man
So anyway,
exists.
okay. Well, rip Andrew Yang's
Sorry,
political presidential
Maybe
run.
4 more years.
There you go. I mean, if you want to give us the money to do the podcast, well, I mean, you can run ads on here for $1,000 an episode. I'll talk about you for an hour, bro.
So, I mean, here's the thing with a universal basic income, and if we literally redistribute the wealth, the larger argument is basically comes down to, like what you said, people will abuse it, they will turn lazy. And at the end of the day, if we as a society choose to go down that route, we deserve whatever end process that we have chosen in that circumstance. But if we, on the other side, because we want to only look at the negative, right? But we also don't look at the positive.
All right.
The positive effects is like we could say, wow, we're actually getting what we deserve. You know, we're getting equal representation here.
You don't think-
and that encourages us to be better and
but here's my
capable of
question.
doing things better. Art, science.
But here's the question.
politics.
You don't think businesses would just raise the prices to match the new income adjustment? You don't think they would do that? Like, yo, man, everybody's making $1,000 a month now. I'm just going to raise all the prices. Isn't that a wash?
But see, like, people look at it as an isolated issue, and it goes way beyond. You can't flip a single switch and cause a train to change a track, right?
Okay.
This is just like a wind. This is like a seasonal wind that starts. A butterfly in the Sahara is flapping its wings and causes a tsunami. This is just one isolated incident that has to change. There's a whole bunch of issues that obviously people are on different sides of the aisles
Right,
from.
yeah, sure.
But really, and maybe this is crazy an idea, but what truly is the most effective is when people come together in the middle and come up with a solution that works for everyone.
Yeah.
And the problem right now is we're so far away from either side that we just throw out these crazy ideas and expect people to accept it. So, I mean, it's got to start somewhere, right?
We need like a Leo inception moment where Leo goes into everyone's dreams and just implants the $1,000 a month idea.
I don't think that's possible.
Never say never. We don't know what the government's capable of, okay?
I mean, you could brainwash the people. You could use
There you
subliminal
go. Okay,
messaging on the
yeah.
Super Bowl or
Just
something.
make some funny commercials. Apparently, that does the trick.
I mean, it does, whether you want to believe it or
So
not.
as of right now, do you think Bernie is the man for the job? I don't know if you've been keeping up with it or not.
I mean, I haven't been keeping super close with it, but he's got my vote as opposed to who else?
I mean, Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
I really don't know much about any of them.
Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden,
Bloomberg's gonna be joining the fray.
Bloomberg.
Bloomberg seems like he's a plant from the Republicans.
He does. There's some
It seems like he's a
suspect.
plant.
There's suspect things about
Joe
him.
Biden seems like he's senile. Like, how could you vote for Joe Biden? Like,
But the establishment loves Joe Biden. They love
of course they
established
do.
name. Like,
of course they do.
So, like an NFL team, do you want to take the quarterback that kind of sucks but's played the game a long time and can get you some
No.
wins and get you to a playoff, or do you want a new guy who has never really had the opportunity? And he's a wild card. He could be great, or he could throw 8 interceptions a game. That's really the question. Which one are you willing to
who are we
invest?
comparing who to who?
I mean, Bernie is the young.
'Cause it's not
I mean,
really
Bernie's
that-
not young, but he's new. Like, he has new ideas that.
Bernie has the capability of being Vince Young.
Yeah, he could blast you for 6 touchdowns, 4 rushing, or he could throw 6 picks.
I don't know if you're. I don't know if.
But
your
that's how they.
analogy is accurate.
That's how the DNC looks at it.
it's ridiculous.
The DNC likes Biden because they know him. He's
It's an
been
established name.
there. He's been in the White House. That's why they like him.
Everybody knows who he is. So if they're looking down the card and they don't know anybody else's name, they're going to pick the one that they know.
Here's the problem with the DNC and the RNC,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say, is they're all partisan-based politics.
Of course.
The reason I think that Bernie Sanders stands out because he's not really a partisan politician.
No, he's not.
He's more focused on the issues. He's more for the people. At least that's the message. That I know a lot of people who say he's a career politician. All the stuff he's saying is phony baloney. it could be the truth. And honestly, for all these politicians, it probably is the truth, right? But at least his message is fresh. That's the point.
I'm not
Joe
disputing
Biden, not fresh, not a fresh message, right? Like, the dude is on camera doing the most ridiculous things. Like, people come up and ask him, and he's like putting his hands on people.
He kicked
and,
one guy out
and
because
saying,
he asked him like a question about his policy. And
he
he's
said,
like,
"Go
"You gotta
vote."
Go.
He said, "Go vote for someone
Yeah,
else."
go vote for someone else. I don't want your vote." And the dude literally was just like, "I'm just asking you." Like, it's weird. I don't know. Feslov said he's officially an independent, but he's running as a Democrat. Yes, because he identifies more with the Democrat ideals than the Republican ones.
And there's no way in hell that he'll get
no. So it's going to be fun to watch that. So anyway, okay. All right, speaking of well-known names, it's time for Dear John.
Dear John, by the time you read these lines, I'll be gone.
All right, so someone has written in with a question. John will listen to that question and then try to give advice. Here we go.
This one comes in. Dear John, I am a 34-year-old man who is somewhat socially awkward. I want to start dating and hopefully find someone that is, find that special someone. The problem is I have an addiction. It's not to alcohol or drugs, but to online games. I have been gaming since I was 18, shortly after I joined the military, and it has been the majority of my social interaction. I have avoided friends and family and spent thousands of dollars of the years on this hobby. I've tried several times to quit. I succeeded for a few months, but I always go back thinking I can play just a little bit. I sincerely want to quit. I don't want to go on like this, but I don't know how to break the cycle. Until I can sort this out, I don't think I should become involved with anyone else. I feel like if I don't do this now, this is what the rest of my life will be, and it's frightening. Counseling is out of the question because I would have to report it to my job, which could jeopardize my future employment. Is there any advice about how to fix this problem from Lost in Cyberspace?
Is that half pint? Oh, sorry. Never mind. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, you got to get over that, man. You got to unplug or something. I mean, when I used to smoke, and I tried quitting smoking several times, and the key to quitting smoking, the first thing you got to do is get it away from you. Any kind of addiction, you got to make it to where it's not readily available. So that's your first step.
So smash his Xbox.
If that's what he's got to do, that's what he's got to do.
Man, but this man, let's say it's his gaming laptop. He's playing Warcraft. Is that what kids play?
I don't think so.
Sure, I don't. Whatever. Let's say it's Warcraft. Well, he's 34. He's not a kid.
I think people just call it WoW.
Okay, WoW. He's been playing that probably since 18. He's built this character up for 16 years now. He's just supposed to walk away from this, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
video games.
Look at the letter said. I mean, he's starting to date. That means his 20s are gone.
Who cares? He's had love in this game. Like, really.
Apparently he hasn't, because why would he be trying to quit now?
In the ideal world, I know John's answer. I mean, but in the ideal world, Valentine's Day, you could have a little candlelight dinner with your wife, or you could pop in a good old video game and just play in peace for a few hours. Which one would you pick, Lee?
I'm going to pass on this one.
Oh, you're so soft, bro. John. I got you. I hear you. Video games are amazing. Don't get me wrong. And, I would say this to John's point. He does have solid points here. I mean, if you really, really want to date, you really need to think that over. But if you are, then yeah, you need to get rid of the game. But if the game brings you happiness, women aren't necessarily going to bring you happiness, my man, okay? And if you just start dating, the first few are going to bring you misery, most likely. I mean, that's just the way the dating game goes. Like, you might get lucky. You might find the one on the first date, but let's be honest, that's rare. That rarely ever happens. So you're 34. You're already playing with a loaded deck. You're dating probably, women that have, I don't know who single women are at 34. Most of them probably been divorced, got kids. So you're already fighting an uphill battle. You look at WoW, though. You've put so much time into this game, brother. Like, you're a god in that
never
game.
let you down.
It's never let you down, man. It never asks for cards, flowers, chocolate. It just, I mean, it asks for your credit card. But look, it doesn't
he's asking for stuff because he said he spent a lot of money.
That's fine.
Just
He's happy.
thousands. That's less than a basic income.
Right. I mean, you get divorced, you'd be praying for
Apparently, Andrew Yang thinks $1,000 is a lot of money.
If you had $1,000 a month, you could just play WoW all the
that.
time.
I would. I mean,
beans
heck.
and rice. Yeah.
So, okay.
What I thought was weird, to back this up,
Yeah,
it's
go
2
ahead.
points. 2 points. First off,
Mr. 2
I think it's weird that you say I can't seek counseling because it will affect my future employment. Do you have any insight on what kind of job you would work at where if you got help for a mental addiction that they would fire you? Especially one like
I
gaming?
mean, if he works with computers,
maybe
they might think that,
I don't know.
instead of actually doing his job, he might be playing these games because he's got a history of this addiction.
Okay. The
Good-
second
That's the
one,
only thing I can think of.
That's rough.
That's a good point, I guess. The second one is like I know a lot of video gamers mock and laugh at video game addiction, and they don't consider it
right.
an actual addiction, especially in terms of when you start looking at something like crack cocaine or heroin or fentanyl that are physically addictive as well as mentally addictive.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' takes on do you see that this guy is video gaming addiction actually a thing, or is this guy maybe just have other problems that he's not dealing with?
I mean, I know. I mean, we
I
know
think it is an addiction.
It's a real thing because there was actually a story years back of a couple that was playing WoW so much, World of Warcraft, that their kid died because they would not go like feed the kid, do anything with the kid. So the kid died. This is like a big story. So obviously that tells you, yes, there are, and then scientists have studied it. There is an effect on the brain with the endorphins being released and the satisfaction of it. So, I mean, it's tough though because society will kind of laugh at you. It's like the scene in Half Baked, where he says, "I'm addicted to marijuana," and Bob Saget goes,
Say it. You brought it up. You got to say it.
Bob Saget goes, "Have you ever sucked dick for marijuana?" And he goes, "No." Then you're not addicted, okay? So there's a standard of addictions we have where we're like, yeah, you can be addicted to heroin, cocaine, you can be addicted to even sex, gambling, but like people will laugh at video game addiction, but it's probably totally a real thing. I'm sure.
I mean, I think if you could be addicted to gambling, that's not very different from video games.
Yeah, it's just kind of the same thing.
If I could give the guy one piece of advice,
would be
do not buy a VR headset.
I bet he already has one.
We'll probably never see this guy
But my
again.
thing
He'll
is,
probably starve himself to death.
find a gamer girl. What I mean, dude, that's your passion, right? Whether he's addicted or not. Let's just say he's passionate about it. Like anyone that collects toys, we're not like, yo, you're addicted to toys. We've met adults that collect a lot of toys. We never said, oh, you're addicted. If you love it, it's your passion, then find a girl that likes it as well. Then you could do it together. Everybody wins, and then you abandon your child one day and go to jail. But the point is, you should find someone that likes what you like, man, because it's not going to get any better at your age, honestly. I mean, and there are gamer girls out there. There's tons of them,
So I'm hearing two things from here. The guy writing in says, I have an addiction. How do I deal with it? It's on video games. David is seeing the guy saying, I want a girl and can't get one. I'm hearing two different
Is that
things.
not what that's what I read
think
out
it's
of
a combination of the two things.
I think he thinks.
I think he wants to move on with his life, and he feels that in order to do that, he has to give up these video games.
Yeah. The girl ain't going to solve it. I mean, that we can agree with that.
It's going to be a whole other list of problems, but I mean,
he needs to go get therapy. I mean, honestly, if he's that concerned about it, and it could be, maybe he's over.
I mean, somebody
I don't know.
doesn't say, "Oh, I have an addiction to video games" just because they play it a lot.
Right.
There's something else that has happened to where he's he's had a wake up call.
Yeah. Yeah, John's probably right. So, okay, so your final advice to the man is
Get away from it.
smash the damn Xbox.
For John, since we sang last song, dear John.
And if you smash that Xbox, you should make a TikTok video and send it to Lee at BYB Pod. He would love
Or
to see
just
that.
post it on TikTok.
What song would you put
No,
with
no,
that?
no, send it to us.
It's just shows him smashing it over and over again.
The theme to Zelda. Dun 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 dun. dun.
That's not bad. I was saying, or what's the Clash song? Rock the Casbah.
Casbah.
Yeah. Smash the cat box. All right. So anyway, that's Dear John. If you want to write in, bybpod@gmail.com. That's bybpod@gmail.com. Hit us up or hit us on the socials at bybpod on Facebook and Twitter. All right. Well, that's it. That's our episode. 176 is in the bag. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know what your favorite serials were on social this week. Let us know what you thought about the Oscars, what you think about the Yang Gang, Bernie Bros, anything. Hit us up on social media. You can go to our website, blameyourbro.com, to find all those links. Hit us up anywhere. Tell us what you think about it. We love interacting with people. It really makes the week. We got shirts for sale on the website. We got an Amazon link, so if you're buying a bunch of video game crap there, use our link. People have been using it. We really appreciate that. All you do is go to blameyourbro.com, click on that link. It takes you back to Amazon, shop, buy a bunch of crap. We get a small percentage of sales. It really helps the show. Thank you if you do that. And you can email the show. You can email us at bybpod@gmail.com or email us directly from the website. That's an option. And you can even send us a voicemail if you get really brave. Someone do that. We had people doing it and it stopped, but whatever. That's a website you need to go to. Thanks so much for everybody in the live chat tonight. You guys were fantastic. We love it when people show up. Go rate, subscribe, tell all your friends about the podcast. We're moving closer to 200. We can't wait to get there with you. So blameyourbro.com. That's everything you need to know. Lee, anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.